Karl, your thoughts after seeing this spectacle and hearing this speech about how the McCain camp might counter it?
Well, the speech had three parts to it, and I'd have a response to each one. The first part were a series of pretty personal and pretty negative attacks on John McCain, and I'd respond to it, frankly, by using Senator Obama's own language from tonight's speech. I don't know if it was unconscious or intentional, but he said in his speech, if you don't have a record to run on, then you paint your opponent as someone people should run away from. For a guy who says he's against the old style of politics, tonight he was pretty good at the old style of politics, but I think it was because, and he devoted the first part of his speech to this, because he really does have a thin record to run on. The second part of the speech was a laundry list of largely conventional, poll-tested, focus group-tested policy initiatives, and the McCain campaign ought to take them seriously and pick them apart piece by piece. For example, he said, I'm going to eliminate government programs that don't work. Well, name one. He said he was going to, if your employer doesn't provide you health insurance, then you get health insurance from the government. Well, what kind of a disincentive is that for any business in America to provide insurance? So my opinion is they ought to take him up on this and have a robust debate. And he gave him the opening. He said he'd be happy to have a debate with Senator McCain on who was fit to be commander-in-chief. Well, they ought to say, great, take us up then finally on our offer to have a debate with you, a town hall meeting every week between now and the end of the election. And the final part of this was very Clintonian, where he tried to, sort of square the proverbial circle. He was talking, for example, about guns, gun control, which basically said we could defend the Second Amendment while dealing with AK-47s. Well, we know what his record is when it comes to guns. Same with abortion. He said, well, we disagree on it, but we ought to be able to find a way to stop unwanted pregnancies. On traditional marriage, he said, we ought to allow gay and lesbian partners to visit their partners in the hospital. Well, I don't think the traditional marriage amendments are about stopping that kind of behavior. It's about defending the traditional definition of marriage as being between one man and one woman, where he's not in favor of that. So I would just treat this as a straightforward invitation to engage upon the issues and go at it.
All right, Karl, very interesting. Thanks very much.